Hey everyone, this is Iamthetie, GT, coming back at you with part 9 of A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past walkthrough. When we last left off, obviously we did not rescue Zelda in time, and we have to make it to the Palace of Darkness. But before we make it to the Palace of Darkness, I think there's a couple of items that we might as well just pick up. And I'm looking at a speedrun that someone else has done of a Palace of Darkness, and I'm pretty sure I can cram the entire dungeon into one 14-minute video if I'm lucky, and I move as quickly as possible. But I can't fit it into this video right now since I'm not in front of the dungeon yet, and it does take a little bit of time to get to it. If you go into this house, they sell items, but you don't need it. By the way, before you can get into the Palace of Darkness, you are going to have to make sure that you have at least 110 rupees. You can see right now I have 143, which is a really good amount. If you have any less than that, you have to pay a monkey in order to get him to open the door into the palace for you. And if you don't have the correct number, then you just can't get in, and it's a waste of time. But anyway, if you head up to basically where Zora's domain is, in the Dark World, there's a giant catfish in this thing. I think that's a catfish or a babam. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, he's really angry that you threw a rock in there, but if you don't throw any more crap in there, then he gives you the Quake Medallion. And basically, if you don't know what the Quake Medallion does, it mutates everything on the ground around you, and then it also is used to open up the door into one of the dungeons in the Dark World later on in the game. So it's a good item to pick up. That's why I went ahead and grabbed it right now. And then consequently, we can also drop off that mushroom that we picked up in the Lost Woods when we went to go grab the Master Sword, and then give it to that old hag now. So we're going to go ahead and just do that right now. Obviously this is where the old hag normally is, in the Light World. But since we have access to both the Light and the Dark World at this point, just go ahead and equip the Magic Mirror. And then transport yourself back into the Light World. And then just go ahead and give her the mushroom. And then just a little heads up for you guys, she's not going to actually give you the magic powder herself. You're going to have to go inside of the shop. And if you go inside the shop, basically after a significant point in the game, you know, like after a dungeon, just come back here. The magic powder will be next to this guy who's kind of dancing back and forth like a monk. But now that we've dropped off the mushroom, we just have to wait a little bit, and then she will make magic powder. And magic powder is good for just one specific thing in the game, but it's really, really important. It's something that allows you to double your magic meters. And then when we get to that, I'll tell you more about it. It's kind of a confusing, segment because I think you free out a vampire bat, and basically he says he's gonna have your magic power, but he's actually talking about having your magic power consumption because he's really excited that you let him out of his slumber. But when I read it the first time, I thought it meant that my magic was only half as effective as it was before, so I got really pissed off, and I went through the game and didn't do that. But then I realized that my magic got consumed a lot more quickly if I didn't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and just, grab one more thing. You can see this giant circle of rocks. If you recall, in the Light World, there was a tiny island out in Lake Hylia that had a piece of heart right here. So obviously, just go ahead and then go back into the Light World at this location, and you should appear right on that rock. And then that stupid cactus is in the way. There we go, we got another piece of heart. And I believe that's all the pieces of heart that we can actually access. If you wander around in the Dark World for a little bit, you'll find that pretty much this entire section is blocked off. Like, you can't get into any other section of the Dark World yet because they have these little, I'm not gonna call them like hammer posts, but in the Dark World is it's like a light purple peg, and what happens is that you can't get through that particular section until you've gone ahead and you pick up the hammer, which is the main item in the Palace of Darkness, which is the first dungeon. So did these guys tell you stuff if you pay them rupees normally? basically all the people that have gone after the Triforce in the Dark World, they've mutated into, you know, some item. Like, he's turned into a tree. If you recall back on top of the mountain, that one guy turned into a Triceratops, and then the other guy turned into a ball. And then, in case you guys didn't notice, that guy took away 3 hearts a while ago. The people in the Dark World do a lot more damage than the people in the Light World, which is just something to be very cautious of. That's why I've been collecting pieces of heart the whole time, because it's really good to have a pretty good health bar when you venture into the dungeon. It'll save you a lot of trouble. But anyway, this is the way that you take in order to get to the Palace of Darkness. You're gonna get contacted by Kiki the Monkey. And that's just a funny name. I don't know. Kiki the Monkey. Give him 10 rupees. You want him to follow you. But don't get into too much trouble, because if you get your ass kicked, then he won't follow you anymore. And that would be really bad, because then you have to go fetch him again. I forget if you can dash with him, but sometimes you can't dash with people. So I go ahead and just move along. And then he'll open the entrance, but he does it for 100 rupees, because he's a mercenary. And he's a piece of crap. What a dumb monkey. But yeah, just let him open it. For 100 rupees. I mean, you really need to get into the Palace of Darkness in order to rescue that first maiden. So he steps on the switch, which I'm pretty sure if Link thought about it, he probably could have just climbed up there and done it himself. But obviously you can't do that. Go ahead, take a step inside of here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just stop the walkthrough right now. And then when we continue on, we will pick up where we left off, and we'll actually go through this dungeon in one video, hopefully. So rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Bye.